Your smartphone is probably the most used tech gadget in your arsenal, so if you're dropping $700 to $800 on a new flagship or you're signing up for a 2 to 3 year contract, you want this device to look and feel as premium as it can in your hands. There are no other companies that build their phones like HTC. We're talking strictly Android. If you compare this to its main competitor, the Samsung Galaxy S5, one is made out of a unibody aluminum design, whereas the other is made of plastic. And I don't want to come across as an HTC fanboy, but those are the facts. When you look at the HTC One M8, it draws its design cues from the original HTC One M7, which was already praised for having outstanding build quality. It's improved on this by getting rid of the polycarbonate edges and is now made of 90% aluminum. It still has the two front-facing boom sound speakers, and these are the best speakers on any smartphone to date, followed closely by the original HTC One M7. Next off, battery life. There's no point having a smartphone with the best specs, the best screen, and the best performance if the battery just doesn't last throughout the entire day. This was one of the problems with the original HTC One M7. Around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, my battery would be dying and I'd be left stranded without a phone. The HTC One M8 has a 40% increase in battery performance compared to its predecessor, and HTC Sense 6 is a lot more efficient. This is made all possible in a 2600 mAh battery cell. I've used the HTC One M8 heavily, and I mean heavily. I've played games and even more games, and this thing still performs without hiccup. I have no need to worry of this thing dying on me in a day's use. It enters a extreme power savings mode at 5, 10, or 20% depending on your preference, and HTC claims you can get up to 15 hours on a 5% charge. A review wouldn't be complete without some tech specs. It has the latest Snapdragon 801 chip, a quad-core 2.3 GHz processor, as well as Adreno 330 GPU. And this is the same hardware found in the Galaxy S5, which makes build quality and design so much more important in that deciding factor. Before the M8 was released, there was a lot of buzz regarding the dual camera setup on the back. This is the first smartphone to feature any sort of dual camera system. The first sensor is the same found in the original HTC One M7. This is a 4 ultra-pixel sensor. And an ultra-pixel essentially has larger pixels, which allows in more light, which in turn increases low light performance. And the top sensor is just a depth sensor, so as the name implies, it senses depth in your photos. You can start to apply the bokeh effect, which is usually found in higher-end DSLRs. But overall, I found this feature to be a bit gimmicky. Unless you had a clearly defined foreground and background object, it had problems discerning which one was which, especially due to the fact that this is applied post-production, and maybe this can be fixed in a future firmware update. But overall, the camera layout has been simplified. You have 6 different options: camera, selfie, video, dual capture, Zoe, and Pan 360. In terms of photo quality, I found that they were a bit undersaturated, and you have to remember that these are only 4 megapixel shots, so they're fine for web use, but if you're looking to buy a smartphone for solely the camera, there's definitely better options out there.